Would you paddle into a 25-foot wave, knowing it might be your last ride? Alec Cooke did, and then he vanished without a trace. No body, no witness, just silence. This isn't just a surf story. This is a real-life mystery that still haunts Hawaii. In October 2015, legendary Hawaiian big-wave surfer Alec "Ace Cool" Cooke paddled out into the towering swells off Waimea Bay and vanished. No one saw him again. His truck was left parked nearby, keys inside, his loyal dog waiting. A search that spanned thousands of square miles turned up nothing. Just like that, one of the boldest names in surfing history disappeared without a trace. Ace Cool wasn't your average surfer. He surfed at night. He dropped from helicopters into waves that could crush buildings. He lived on the edge, always chasing the next big ride. But even for someone like him, this disappearance left the surfing world stunned and silent. So what really happened out there? Was it a tragic accident? Or something deeper? Stick around till the end. We're diving deep into the mystery, the man, and the legend. Coming up, the stunt that made him a legend, and the final day that made him a myth.
I'm swimming around the island in the course of 10 days, about 10 miles a day, 10 hours a day, at about a mile an hour, makes 100 hours, 100 miles.
Born in Boston but raised in Hawaii, Alec Cooke became Ace Cool in the waves of Kauai and Oahu. While other kids studied, Ace hunted giants, and people noticed. He didn't just chase surf, he chased chaos, and chaos would answer him back. Alec Cooke was born in Boston in 1956, but Hawaii quickly became his true home. Raised on the islands of Kauai and Oahu, he was surrounded by water, waves, and the pulse of island life. By the time he was a teenager, surfing wasn't just a hobby, it was his calling. He attended Punahou School, the same prestigious private school later attended by Barack Obama. But even among a sea of high achievers, Cooke stood out, not in the classroom, but in the water. He graduated in 1974 and immediately plunged headfirst into the local surf scene. It didn't take long before Alec carved a reputation for going bigger, harder, and wilder than anyone else. He didn't just ride waves, he hunted them. His raw energy, wild mane of hair, and fearlessness in the face of 30-foot monsters earned him the nickname Ace Cool. Surfing was changing in the 70s and 80s, and Ace Cool was right at the center of it. He wasn't content to follow the crowd. He wanted to define the frontier of the sport. Next, we relive the moment that launched him into surf history: a helicopter, a camera, and one massive wave. January 5, 1985. Ace Cool jumps from a chopper into a 30-foot wave. One photo immortalized it. One moment made him a legend. The north shore of Oahu was alive with energy. Waves crashing up to 30 feet high, photographers lining the beaches, and helicopters buzzing above. But what happened that day would etch Ace Cool into surfing lore forever. As a chopper hovered above Outer Pipeline, all eyes turned to the man dangling from it. With no hesitation, Ace Cool leapt out, surfboard in hand, and dropped straight into a roaring wall of water. It was insane, dangerous, unheard of, and totally Ace. Photographer Warren Bolster captured the moment in a single shot, a silhouette of a man falling from the sky into chaos below. That photo became an icon, turned into one of Hawaii's best-selling postcards. For many, it symbolized something bigger than surfing. It was freedom, fearlessness, and madness wrapped into one image. Ace Cool didn't just want to surf big waves, he wanted to own them. He dubbed himself chairman of the board and promised to conquer the biggest waves on Earth. The helicopter drop wasn't a stunt, it was a statement. But Ace wasn't done pushing boundaries. What he did next would leave even seasoned surfers shaking their heads. Most surfers wait for daylight, calm winds, and clear skies, not Ace Cool. While the world slept, Ace surfed alone. With glow sticks strapped to his board, he became a ghost in the sea. Brave or suicidal, Ace would paddle out under the cover of darkness, armed with the glow sticks, headlamps, and nerves of steel. He claimed night surfing gave him a closer connection to nature and fewer crowds. But let's be real, it was also part of his obsession with doing what no one else dared. Friends and locals often saw a strange glow bobbing in the distance at midnight. That was Ace, riding giants alone. He wasn't just testing his skill, he was testing the ocean itself. To him, the waves were a spiritual challenge, a proving ground that demanded total respect and zero fear. These weren't just one-off events either. Ace was known to plan elaborate solo surf missions, sometimes vanishing for days, always returning with stories of encounters that seemed half myth, half man. Some called it brave, others called it reckless, but everyone agreed Ace Cool didn't play by anyone else's rules. And then came the day when he went out and didn't come back. What really happened at Waimea Bay in October 2015? Let's unpack the mystery. If you're into wild true stories like this one, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another deep dive. Every click helps us bring more untold legends to light. The waves at Waimea Bay were pumping, 20 to 25 feet and rising. Perfect for a man like Ace Cool. On October 27, 2015, Alec Cooke told friends he was heading out to surf. He drove his white truck to Waimea, parked near Saints Peter and Paul Mission Church, and left the keys inside. His loyal dog, Honey Girl, waited patiently in the back seat. It was a setup he'd done countless times, but this time, something was different. Later that day, his surfboard washed up near the mouth of the Waimea River, damaged and alone. No one had seen him paddle out. No witnesses, no photos, no GoPro footage. Just silence. The next morning, concern turned into panic. The Coast Guard launched a massive search operation covering 8,900 square miles. Helicopters, boats, rescue teams all scoured the ocean. But Ace was gone. No wetsuit, no leash, no sign. Had he been pulled under by a rogue set? Did something go wrong in the water? Or did Ace, who was known for planning wild adventures, choose to disappear? The surfing world held its breath. His friends, family, and fellow surfers hold on with prayers and memories. But the days passed and nothing turned up. Eventually, the Coast Guard called it, "We've suspended the search." 8,900 square miles searched, zero clues. It was like the sea swallowed him whole. Or did he disappear on purpose? Was that really the end, or just the beginning of a mystery? The search may have ended, but the questions were just getting started. The search for Ace Cool wasn't just big. It was one of the most intense ocean recovery efforts Hawaii had seen in years. Coast Guard helicopters swept the coastline. Rescue boats combed every corner of the North Shore. Friends, surfers, and volunteers scanned the beaches for any trace. They covered a staggering 8,900 square miles. But day after day, the ocean remained silent. No wetsuit, no body, no gear. Only that damaged surfboard near the Waimea River mouth, as if the sea had swallowed everything else. Local news ran constant updates. Candlelight vigils popped up. But behind the scenes, some rescuers began to admit what no one wanted to say out loud. There were no leads, nothing to go on. Even experienced watermen were baffled. It was like he'd vanished into thin air, except it was water. Finally, after 5 days, the Coast Guard made the heartbreaking call. "We are suspending the active search for Alec Cooke." It was a gut punch. For a man who had survived more waves than most could even imagine, this felt surreal. No one wanted to believe it. But without new evidence, there was nothing more to do. But was Ace truly gone? Or had he pulled off one last legendary escape? Next, we look at the legacy he left behind. Long before his disappearance, Ace Cooke was a legend. Not just because of what he surfed, but how he lived. He wasn't in it for the fame or trophies. He was in it for the thrill, the rebellion, the pure adrenaline of being alone on a mountain of water. In a world where surfing was becoming mainstream and commercial, Ace stayed raw, wild, untamed. Beyond the waves, he was also a voice for environmental activism. He called out overdevelopment on the North Shore, fought to protect surf spots, and wasn't afraid to challenge authority, often with a bullhorn and a homemade sign. Some called him eccentric, others called him a hero. He inspired a generation of surfers to think differently, to go further, to trust their instincts. His helicopter drop? Copied. His night surfing? Revered. His attitude? Unmatched. Even after his disappearance, Ace continues to live in stories, in surf sessions, and in the DNA of Hawaiian surf culture. His image still floats around the island, on murals, in surf shops, and in the hearts of those who knew him. But for all he gave the world, there's still one thing it never got back: the truth about what happened that day. Some say rogue wave, some say he staged it, others believe he knew too much. No proof, no body, just a myth wrapped in water. How dangerous is Waimea really? Waimea Bay may be paradise, but it hides one of the most complex reef systems in the Pacific. Rogue currents, uneven bottom topography. Solo surfing here? You're gambling with gods. We're not done yet. Next, we dive into the theories. And trust me, they range from tragic to downright mysterious. When someone like Ace Cooke disappears, the rumors come fast and wild. Some believe it was a tragic accident, a freak set of waves, a hold down that even Ace couldn't escape. But others? They aren't so sure. Ace had talked before about disappearing, about walking away from everything, about starting over, somewhere remote, off the grid. Could he have faked his death? Some say yes, pointing to the clean disappearance, the lack of evidence, and Ace's known flair for the dramatic. There's even speculation about foul play. Did someone want Ace gone? Or did he know too much about local development or environmental politics? Then there's the simplest theory: the ocean just took him, like it has taken so many watermen before. No drama, just nature doing what it does. But with no body, no witness, and no answers, the legend only grows. Ace Cooke didn't just ride waves, he was the wave. His life was a storm of daring, passion, and raw energy. From his helicopter drop to his midnight solo sessions, Alec Cooke lived by one rule: never follow, always lead. Even in his final chapter, one filled with mystery, silence, and unanswered questions, he left the world on his own terms. For the surf community, his disappearance wasn't just a loss. It was a legend in the making. A story told around bonfires, a face on memorial t-shirts, a reminder that the ocean gives and it takes. No one knows exactly what happened on that October day, but one thing's for sure: Ace Cooke's spirit still rides the waves of Waimea in every surfer who dares to go just a little farther than they should. Rest in power, Ace. You didn't just surf the waves, you became one. If this story grabbed you, give it a like, share it, and subscribe for more real-life mysteries. Let us know in the comments, what do you think happened to Ace Cooke? Which theory do you believe, and why?